Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to another seat-riveting episode of Drunk Uncle Radio. Joining me as always are the Drunkles, Steve, Adam, and Jimmy. My name's John, and I am the fourth and currently speaking Drunkle. And we have an incredibly interesting show for you tonight. We are going to be hashing, dishing, and cutting up over the Super Bowl halftime performances. Go ahead.
Because we're huge whores for the algorithm. And we just figured that everyone else is figuring out some sort of way to talk about the Super Bowl on this weekend. And it's tomorrow. Jimmy, Are you, yes or no, sick of seeing Tom Brady in the Super Bowl?
I mean, I was starting to feel bad for the guy. He hadn't been to one in 2 years. And, I was starting to get concerned. You know,
he's got like his own bathroom.
Yeah. I was starting to think that, you know, the guy wasn't going to get his fix, and he was going to start getting Super Bowl shakes or something.
Dude, he's the same age as me, and I have a hard time like riding my bike 10 miles.
It was only his 14th conference championship is all it was. That's the 14th conference championship he played in, and now he's played in both of them.
All natural, wink, wink, too. That guy, he's never had any kind of chemical help over all these years. Not at all. None.
Nothing involving air pressure either.
No, no Mexican vitamins at all. So, John, take us through the Super Bowl halftime performances.
Well, most folk might not realize this, and perhaps I am being too presumptuous there, but the Super Bowl halftime show was not always the pop and rock and sometimes one-time country music extravaganza that we know it as today. If you've ever been to a college football game or even a high school football game, the general deal at halftime is right, a marching band. And for the first 30 some years of the Super Bowl, I think it's you guys are more football-y than I am. You'll have to fill my dates. And I believe the first Super Bowl was in the late 50s or the early 60s.
62.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, it was Packers Chiefs.
So for the first two Super Bowls. For the first 30 or so years, it was generally a marching band of note or of charity that was selected to come and perform, or, you know, a larger conglomerate ensembles of multiple marching bands, cadet ensembles, and the likes of what have you. But in the early 90s, they decided that it was time to, the NFL was trying to get more bucks, trying to keep more viewership during halftime, and they decided they were going to start putting the new hotness out there. The first like performance that we like, that's kind of like we know it, and if you watch it, it's actually still very much a big, you know, marching band extravaganza, is the 1992 Super Bowl. It was the Winter Magic, as the clipboard here. Winter Magic, and I don't have the location. I believe it was somewhere in the north. I want to say Minnesota or Wisconsin. But it was Gloria Estefan. She is the first like big pop act Super Bowl star, and she's come back a couple of times, at least one time since.
Yes, the voice of winter weather right there.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah,
probably would have been Minneapolis.
That was Minneapolis.
Yeah, because they got the dome.
Yeah.
It was in the old dome.
Yeah. And you could have gotten Anne Murray.
Yeah.
So it was, and I admit I watched it today, and it was absolutely terrible. But you know, there's
going to be a lot of that.
She's not. It's a pattern over the years. She's not terrible at all, and actually, and this is going to be a point that I come to a lot because of my obsession with gear and technical stuff. Is which I think we have a couple of stories to talk about with it. Is she was on a live mic the whole time, which has had mixed success over the years. And usually it seems that most artists are encouraged not to do so. And so I think some of my favorite performances, and I think we're all going to have some agreement on this, is the ones where they were brave enough to do it and insist that they were going to do it against all of the will of the broadcasting companies in the NFL.
Yeah, man, Maroon 5 killed it, dude. They fucking nailed that shit to the back of the wall. It's fucking.
I have them. Let's see on the list here on the clipboard.
Don't be scared to be negative, you all. We're there like
bury them.
I'm not talking to Jimmy. He knows.
Smoke if you got them.
This is
no,
not
I have
be good a lot of times.
I have them written down. They were the 2019, January 2019 or February 2019 band artist, and I have them written down simply on my list as Moron 5. So
67. That was Super Bowl one.
There we go. There we go.
Well,
man.
I think it would be funny to maybe find some of the like recordings of some of those first marching band ones.
As a marching band nerd, I'm cool with it. Like,
you know they'll be good.
It's like back when all the bands were like Big Ten style.
and HBCU style, because I know like Florida A&T played for sure.
I think Grambling played one too.
Yeah, they did.
Can you imagine if that took center stage today? It'd be like, and now performing, like, take it back, Jack.
Now performing their James Swearingen tribute.
Oh, James Swearingen!
You're like, what the
Michael Smith tribute, not Michael W. Smith, but Michael Smith tribute.
Performing Holst the Planets.
140 million people changed the channel.
Oh, the Puppy Bowl would get big numbers that year.
Oh yeah.
But
the Potty Bowl.
Hey, there's other football. There's other football teams that still have marching bands,
Packers.
right? Don't the Packers do? The Ravens do.
The Washington football team.
Yes, the football team. Very good. The team that plays football. The Ravens, I'm pretty sure does. The Colts.
The Colts do.
The Colts definitely do. Man, I don't know. Like, I love marching band, and there's 4 of us who are marching band nerds. I'd be more than okay.
I kind of wonder if the people, the people in those marching bands are like dudes that just, want to go to the game. They're all like,
yeah, dude, there's no way they're good.
But no, they're like, I got a new Bach mouthpiece the other day. Or something like that. Like,
I've decided to move up to the number 2 mouthpiece.
I'm now playing a 12C. Or I have a
12C.
I've got a 6.5 AL. Oh, it's great. That's stupendous.
So they really switched it up fast though. In 92 was the Winter Magic, and that also featured Brian Boitano and Dorothy Hamill as the feature presenters of saying, "Hi everybody, and welcome to Minneapolis. It's," and then horrendously unsynchronized, Winter Magic, and
they didn't skate. In Minneapolis, they didn't fucking skate.
It's a football field. Where the fuck are they going to skate?
They can make it happen. It's in Minneapolis. It's cold.
Slide some in.
but go to and have one of them like shitty skating rinks where they just spray Dawn all over it, and it's like you can't do anything on it.
Every Christmas, you see these big soapy bricks in there, and you're like, "Oh my god!"
And it's like it's worse than ice. Like you can't do anything on it.
What else did you think Brian Boitano wanted to do?
What would Brian Boitano do?
They did. I'll say this: they were not featured for long.
Yeah,
they were out there.
We got to get Gloria up here, man.
Right, exactly. She came out surprisingly late, but again, this is the first of like what will become the things that we see today. But they really decided to go headlong into it because in 1993 they had Michael Jackson.
Yeah, I remember
he was
that one.
The whole deal. It was his show the whole time. He starts out by like showing up on the Jumbotron and then does a spinny move. And then all of a sudden in a puff of smoke, he's on top of the Jumbotron. And then they shoot across the stadium to the other fucking Jumbotron. And he does the same thing up there. And then he falls down out of the sky on wires. It's a whole big to do.
I remember watching that one as a kid, and I was super excited because I loved Michael Jackson. And my mom, the whole time, like we always had a Super Bowl party. My mom's like, I just hope he just doesn't grab his crotch the whole time.
And boy, did he ever.
Yeah. I'm like, what?
Oh, yeah.
First thing.
Like, right out of the gate, first song, downbeat, hand on it, just thrusting.
What was the set list? What was the set list from that?
I think he opened with Billie Jean.
Yes, and I know he closed with "Heal the World," and it was really a big downer.
That's one of those old Super Bowl rules that they talk about. Is they usually say like no ballads.
Yeah, why would you?
It's not really a ballad. I guess it's like an up-tempo ballad, but it's
easy
still
listening.
Yeah, it's like
it's
it just
up
kind
with people.
It bums you out.
Yeah, it's always a bummer, man.
That's like Free Willy era Michael Jackson.
Well, Paul McCartney didn't play fucking Oh shit.
Hey Jude.
Blackbird.
Yeah, exactly. He did play Hey Jude.
He played Hey Jude. I thought he was trying to. Okay, yeah.
I mean, he did, but didn't also.
But I mean, like, dude, like that's the thing. Like, and that's been my problem with some of the past performers, like fucking Coldplay and Maroon 5. Like, if you're going to do Super Bowl, and yes, there are people going to watch this that's not from America, but too bad. It's the biggest fucking thing in the country. And like, who decided to be like, let's bring The Weeknd in? What the fuck? Like, no, you can't be like, we're going to have the Rolling Stones. We're going to have the Who. We're going to have fucking Michael Jackson. And like, The Weeknd? That's fucking.
Maybe they're going to do one of those things that they do in the sort of off years where they have one like A star and 19 other like B and C celebrities come out and make like, 30-second cameos and like sing a note of somebody. Have Aerosmith come out and sing a note of who are they on stage with? I can't, either way. Have an Aerosmith come out and sing a note of somebody else's song. Yeah. That was it. Justin Timberlake and Steven Tyler trading riffs at the Super Bowl.
Jesus.
It's good.
So it's like Star Trek movies. Every other one is good.
Yeah, because Timberlake's been on it 3 times.
Judging by this list, every other one is definitely not good.
Damn it.
But that is funny. That I totally agree with the Star Trek thing. Yeah, 2 and 4 are great. 1, 3, and 5 are
nope,
not so good.
It's pretty rare that I ever like when I'm like ready to watch the Super Bowl that I'm like, oh, I can't wait for the halftime show. It's like, who the hell's playing this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
like,
but wait, did you say that when you knew Tom Petty was playing? Did you say the same thing?
Oh, I knew. No, like,
like you were fucking fired up, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so good.
That's why it's rare, Petty.
One thing of the early shows, and actually of the whole thing, there is a significant lack of one thing in their billing. There's only been one show that was country. And it was right after Michael Jackson in 1994 with Clint Black, Travis Tritt, Tanya Tucker, and I think that was the big 3. I think might have been one or two.
So they were like, overcorrecting.
Maybe like unless you count Shania Twain, but she's like.
But the rest of that show wasn't country. It was
where
No
was
Doubt
that?
and Sting.
Yeah.
Where was it? Down south? Did they have that country show in
that was
South?
in what year was
94.
that? 94. So that's Cowboys Bills.
Okay.
Is that right? It might have been. Was that in Dallas?
I was looking.
No, because nobody's
Houston,
had a home. No one's had a home game until this year.
Was it Houston?
Hang on. I think it was Houston. Let me look.
We got to somebody bring this up.
I think it was. I think it was Houston.
Out.
I think it was in the old Oilers Dome or whatever that was.
Okay, the
Astrodome.
Okay, so yeah, I mean that's sort of southern. That'll work. Okay, so John, one of the things
Georgia.
Oh, Georgia.
Oh, there you go. Down south. Good.
Yeah.
That'll work. John, one of the things that you talked about today in the thread was like there's been performers and then there also have been people standing on stage and pretending to perform.
90% of all of the bodies you see that are exuding some sort of a musical ooze are faking it. Yeah. Almost all of the bands are playing to tracks. I mean, the E Street Band was playing to a track. They're playing to their track. They went and cut they went to a studio and cut the set as it's going to be performed live so that it all lines up as long as they remember what they played. It's the right format, it's the right instrumentation, it's the right arrangements, all that sort of thing. But yeah, most of the bands are tracked. McCartney was all tracked.
Was McCartney actually singing though?
No.
Yeah,
he was not actually singing.
Really?
He didn't sing Hey Jude?
He sang there. You can hear it. There's a point at the end of Hey Jude where they go to like riffing with the audience mode and you can hear the audio change over to where you can hear the live stuff being faded in.
There's going to be a lot of people watching this who aren't musicians and are, this
be fucking horrified.
That are going like, I can't believe that Coldplay wasn't playing that piano.
They call it protection track. So what they do is like they always record the lead vocal just in case, and the main guy that's in charge of it, like all the backing vocals are recorded, and like John said, all the bands are recorded. And so the artist can sing live if they want to, and then the sound engineer, the main guy, he sort of has a discretion as to switch over, like if there's a hard part or something that's not sounding like it's going quite right, for the broadcast, he can just switch it over and you're going to hear the pre-recorded track if he feels like that's what it needs to do. Because their big thing is like protecting the quality of the Super Bowl. It's not, it's still a championship football game with a show in the middle.
So is that unique to the Super Bowl? Is that something that you'll see in other situations?
I mean, you'd see that in other situations.
Yeah, any big money, big time broadcast situation like
a New Year's Eve or something like that.
There's at least depending. Well, and so here's the biggest reason that it happens like this at the Super Bowl and why it's a little bit of an outlier or possibly a little bit of an outlier. And Jim, you can correct me here if I'm off base, and you can also tell us in the comments if I'm off base. It's a halftime show. It lasts for 12 minutes, and they do it on the field where the football game has to be played afterwards. And so they've got 6 minutes to set everything up, and then 12-minute show and 6 minutes to tear it all down and get it completely out of the way back to their staging area. So that's the biggest limiting factor in the tech side of it. Is if they could have, it wouldn't be a problem to have to set a stage up and do it live and have it sound great for 12 minutes, but to move the entire stage and all the, you see what goes on at those shows. It's incredibly intricate. And so it's just a logistical nightmare. What's funny is if you go, so like there are a couple of bands that have done it right, that have done it full on and insisted on it and had the clout to pull it off. One of them was the Rolling Stones, and they sound like dog shit on the Super Bowl performance.
Have you ever seen the Stones live?
Yeah, well, no, but I'm saying they sound like the Stones with shitty sound.
I mean, dude, I saw the Stones in the fucking.
They should have played to a track.
I saw the Stones in the Hoosier Dome in '95-ish on like the Voodoo Lounge tour, and it was awesome. But it was the Rolling Stones in a fucking football stadium. You know what I mean? Like it isn't like Keith Richards is like nailing it all and to the back of the like Charlie. Like, dude, you can say that Charlie Watts probably sounded great. No, and who would have been the bass player by then?
It would have been Daryl by then.
So Daryl Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the rhythm section probably was sounding great, but
not all, and it's not all.
It sounded real bad. It sounded really bad.
Damn it!
I mean, like not all live broadcasts are that way. A lot of award shows, some of them are that way, but a lot aren't. I mean, I did the Daytona 500, and that was all live.
Yeah,
and
because you guys didn't have to strike your set, and
we didn't have to strike. With something like that, you have the time. There's still a little bit of time before the race starts for them to wheel the stage off and to wheel all this, all the gear and all that's on rollers. So they just like time the trucks and get them out of there, and they're pushed into the infield and then rolled out. But like something like that isn't. But so, like John said, something like the Super Bowl, they have 6 minutes to get on the field and 6 minutes to get off the field. They're drilling up stuff through concrete under the field so that they can run power wires up into there. They have to come through the same tunnels that the players come in and out of because that's the only access you have. Logistical nightmare. So it's just sort of necessary for the most part. They have to have some semblance of control.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So you're saying that NKOTB really wanted to sing live, but they just didn't have the chance. That's what you're saying.
New Kids on the Block was live.
No shit. Was it good?
Go listen to it. No.
Okay.
It was fucking terrible.
Oh, so they should have that's before auto-tune.
Well, it was before they realized, it was before the production value was high enough that the NFL was worried about needing the protection track like Jimmy was talking about. They were like, okay, well, I don't know. It's a live concert in the middle of it's like a rock concert in the middle of a football. Sure, whatever. Go you can do that in 6 minutes. Great. Fabulous.
Dude, you know what's funny is George Burns and Mickey Rooney were both performers at the Super Bowl, but Metallica hasn't been.
It's Lars's fault.
It is. Metallica should be there. We got to talk about that later. Like who should have already done it? Like who's big enough? Like I have two. And one is Adam's choice, I'm sure.
Okay. Well,
so then we go through a streak. We go through a streak of like Patti LaBelle, Diana Ross, Blues Brothers with James Brown and Billy Gibbons, Motown. These are different subsequent
Jim
years.
Belushi, John Goodman.
Oh yeah, Blues it was Brothers. Jim Belushi, and he's given it his all, but it wasn't the same.
Like big giant ass John Goodman is just like got like the faintest whisper of a goatee going. Just looks real weird. You can tell he just like didn't think
really
about it.
going for it.
Jim Belushi did have a live hot mic though. He was singing his blues. He was singing Jake blues live and direct. So was Dan Aykroyd, and this was well into the Dan Aykroyd has become larger part of his life. It was not the tall, willowy, towering Elwood blues that we knew of yore.
Jimmy, give us the most depressing numbers of the biggest selling blues record.
Oh, it's the Blues Brothers. The Blues Brothers album is like the biggest selling blues record of all time.
Isn't that better than
or
Joe Bonamassa?
Or at least like was up to that time. But I mean,
you would want it to be like, John Lee Hooker or something.
We ought to do an episode on it sometime because that movie revitalized a lot of careers single-handedly. Like Ray Charles was on his way down. Aretha Franklin was on her way down. James Brown was on the way down. Nobody knew, especially like white audiences, they didn't know John Lee Hooker, But then here was this movie. It just propelled all these guys to it. And then they sold records like they'd never sold. I mean, Aretha and Ray, they'd sold a lot of records. James Brown, but like John Lee Hooker, no way.
So Donald Duck Dunn was in a low point of his career right there.
No, Duck Dunn. I mean, he's a studio guy, and he's in Booker T and the MGs.
Okay,
they were just happy to have
busy
a gig,
or
man.
you're not. Yeah, they just wanted a gig.
Does anyone remember
Blue Lou Marini?
Yeah. Does anyone remember the name of Ray's music music shop?
Oh, the music shop.
It's Ray's Music Exchange.
Yeah, it was Ray's Music Exchange.
That makes sense, being a Chicago-centric film.
Yeah, I'll take them all. What does he say? I'll take them off your hands for half price.
Shoots the gun at the wall, the kid. Hate to see a young man go bad.
So there's a fair amount of actual live mics, and again, this is the point of the clipboard tonight: is did you do it or did you not? Did you succumb to the pressures of the NFL, or did you say, no, I'm a fucking diva and I'm just gonna sing this shit like a badass? Patti LaBelle was singing to a track. Yeah, or just as bad. Diana Ross stepped out and did it.
Goddamn right, man.
Whole show.
Ross, man.
I have deemed that was 1996. I deemed that when Diana Ross runs around amongst a ton of people, because that was the theme of the show. It's like who designed this? Who choreographed this? It's literally just a sea of men in changing suits and Diana Ross moving between them, and most of the time you can't tell where she is.
And she was like in her late 40s or 50s by then.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And she killed it. She was really, really good. Yeah. As one can imagine, ZZ Top did not play to a live mic. As I was we texted with Jimmy about that. They just played the fucking record.
They just played the record.
They didn't even like to tape the time.
No, they put the record on and mimed along to it.
They're playing Tush. It's like they're just playing Tres Hombres.
Mm-hmm. You can hear it as soon as they drove the Eliminator out onto the field flanked by motorcycles, and as soon as the music starts, you're like, that's the record.
And it was probably something really funny, like, hey Billy, we got to do
stepping out of the car. It started.
Yeah, it was like, hey Billy, and we got to do a pre-recorded track for a safety. Can you do that? No, I ain't gonna do that. I mean,
I've already recorded that, baby.
We already recorded that one. That's the record. You can play that motherfucker if you want to. I don't give a shit.
Why are these drum tones changing from song to song?
Plus, it's like the artist never gets paid for
what?
No, they don't get. I mean, it's the NFL. They're.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
It's an exposure gig, Steve.
They're
ultimate exposure gig.
They're the NFL. They're a nonprofit. So it's tax-free nonprofit. So but what they do is they pay for their production costs, and the production costs are sometimes like $10-12 million.
That's why Metallica's never done it.
But
I'm sure it's one of those
biggest like TV stage ever.
Yeah. I mean, it's like 180 million people that watch it.
And it's probably like you don't get paid, but you get paid. Like, you find ways in the production cost to kind of make something happen. I'm sure. Like ZZ, if you have a ZZ Top, like, you gonna pay for me to record that? Nope. I ain't doing it. You gonna pay me money? Nope. I ain't doing it.
You gonna pay me to record that?
It's like,
No, then you're going to pay me to use the master.
Yeah.
I need 47 cases of Opus 1.
I need a lot of Tecate and Hawaiian punch.
Yeah, boy.
So the clipboard marches on to Motown, which I'm just going to say it was okay. Boyz II Men were there. They sang live. Martha and the Vandal.
Martha Reeves didn't sing live?
She sang live. And it was very bad.
Aww.
It was like she had the vibrato of like a ninth. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, it was
that's that old.
I can't.
That's that gospel vibrato.
It is that old. It's that old church vibrato, man.
Yeah, but wait, but did Boyz II Men sound great?
No.
What?
Because they sang live when yeah, exactly. There's that one guy that's kind of whining, going,
That's the guy I'm talking about.
He's just always like, "What are you fucking crying about?" God,
He's the guy that goes,
eat a fucking sandwich and shut up.
Why are your glasses so small?
So they were bad.
They got the bass guy.
Yeah, well,
baby.
Yeah, but the bass guy couldn't hear himself, so he was out of tune.
Let you know.
Hold on. Wait, Jimmy. Moisten those panties. Go ahead.
I just want to say, baby, I just want to let you know I've been thinking about you. Just don't wait until water runs dry. Yeah, come on, baby.
Oh, Christ.
I need a cigarette.
What is that?
I'll get you next time, Gadget. That's how you get him.
The cat purrs.
Next time.
So that was great. And we go on through the this, we're right to the end of the, like, what I'm calling the initial period, the first period of Super Bowl performances, when it still felt like a halftime show at a ball game.
The salad years.
Well, yeah, absolutely. It's still, you weren't transported away, and especially from the TV viewership. I don't know how it felt in the stadiums, but from the whatever the production aspect was, we're getting towards the end of that period, and into the second period where it's just balls to the walls, lights black out. You're transported to somewhere completely different, and it's a sensory experience as well as the musical performance.
Yeah.
Pretty much what that guy said. Now 14. that is the dawn of the new era. U2.
Did they bring all their televisions? Because that's what.
They did the post 9/11 show.
What?
Yeah.
There wasn't enough goddamn American doing it.
But he had.
Oh, jeez.
But his jacket was lined with an American flag, so it's.
Nah, okay. I don't care.
It was actually, and they were all hot and live. The band was live. The drums were live. It was all real. Even the Edge's guitars were.
We
live.
all know it should have been Lee Greenwood.
That would have been very patriotic, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that a little on the nose, though?
Wait, God. He may have sang the damn national anthem that year.
Those are also pre-recorded as safeties.
Yes.
The national anthem are also pre-recorded.
Okay, but wait a minute, man. We're going to talk about her later on, because it's the greatest that's ever happened. Like, when we're going to talk
I know
about,
which one we're talking about.
I mean, dude. My dad is a hard man, and when Whitney started singing that, he fucking broke down. Like, the old man don't cry, but when Whitney Houston started singing that Star Spangled Banner, oh geez, it was fucking.
So like Butters.
Oh geez. Okay, so let's go off on a side note, man. I think that U2's first 3 or 4 records are fucking phenomenal.
I love them.
Joshua Tree is a fucking masterpiece. Rattle and Hum. Pretty good.
Rattle and Hum was one of those first records for me where I was like, I loved Adam Clayton's tone on Silver and Gold.
Dude, that's a great record.
It's a great bass line.
But when they became fucking rock stars in front of televisions, they just they became dad rock.
They became dad rock. I was sitting here waiting to say that. They stopped challenging their audience and started maintaining them.
Because Rattle and Hum is a very challenging record.
Well, yeah. And I remember during that song Silver and Gold, he goes off on this tangent about apartheid.
Oh God, dude! One of my favorite Conan O'Brien interviews is he has Bono on, and he says, "I will," and he goes, "Man, like if you ever watch like mid to late '90s Conan, you know how irreverent he was. Yeah. He's got Bono on, and he said, "I will give you a toaster oven if you can get through this whole interview without talking about the rainforest."
That's great.
Why wasn't he in Fern Gully? Or maybe he was. Maybe he was like one of the random like dudes flying around or something. We didn't know. What's a human?
You just see one with like red tinted glasses. Like
just got these like stupid wraparound sunglasses on.
Garth Brooks exists and U2 played after 9/11. That's bullshit. Oh. Has Garth Brooks not played a Super Bowl?
Nope.
He comes, ain't going down.
Like I said, man.
Comes
rodeo. They only got that. Like I said, the third pop Super Bowl was Country Night, and it was in Georgia, as we have discovered. And that was it. We haven't seen a drop of country music on the stage of the Super Bowl since 1994.
We opened our show
with the music of Vern Gosden.
That would be Jimmy's favorite.
That'd be the most wonderful Super Bowl show.
There'd be so many babies born at that Super Bowl.
So much liquor sold.
Well, the office called to say you wouldn't belong. Whitney Houston, that was Super Bowl 25.
Which was right after the first. There you go.
That's New York Giants, Buffalo Bills.
West Virginia's own.
That's right.
Is he from West Virginia or did he play here?
I don't think he's from West Virginia.
But he
just played at WVU.
Well, if he went to WVU, he's probably from fucking Pennsylvania.
If he's from West Virginia, he'd have a better mustache.
That's true. That's fucking true.
You know, growing up, I was always coming from Kentucky. I was always a bigger basketball fan than a football fan. But I always remembered Hostetler because of the regular NES football game, which I still have to this day. When you'd pick the Giants, you always got Jeff Hostetler, and his character on there had like the most giant teeth you've ever seen.
That was supposed to be a mustache.
Yeah, but it was just like from brow to chin. Yeah.
See, he's from Holsopple, Pennsylvania is where he was born.
I told you.
Is that a fucking Pennsylvania town name or what?
Holsopple. It's got to be like a suburb of Allentown.
Dude, John Cavendish is the only person I know that graduated from WVU that's not from New Jersey or Pennsylvania.
Well, yeah, there is that. The choice is when you're from New Jersey and it's time to go to college, your father or your parental figure say to you, "Hey, look, you can go to Rutgers or you can go to WVU and we'll buy you a new SUV." And then they take that to Morgantown and drive around the streets going, "Hey," the whole time they're there and just clogging up traffic. And yeah, man, that's yeah.
So Whitney Houston was right after the first Gulf, right? The first Gulf War, and that's why it was such a big moment.
Yes.
And
big flyover. All that.
I don't know if did you all watch the Whitney Houston super depressing documentary that's on like.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Dude, did you know this, John? She never rehearsed it. The guy wrote it. Because if I'm not mistaken, doesn't he put it in 4? Isn't that the one that goes into 4?
Which one?
Whitney Houston Star Spangled Banner changes time signatures. Like the
Star Spangled Banner is in 4.
Well, okay, then he put it in 3. There's something that happens that's like not standard. She comes in, she listens to it, and she goes, "Sweet." And he's like, "You want to sing it?" And she's like, "Nah." And when you're hearing Whitney Houston, that's what I'm saying. It's in 3, and then they change a part of it in 4. Lady Gaga did it the other night in the inauguration. There is a part of the Star Spangled Banner. And man, let's be honest. We're all songwriters. We know about songs, and that's fine. You can fucking America the Beautiful should be the fucking national anthem. The national anthem is not a great song.
Oh my! We agree. I'm a fucking idiot. I was sitting here singing "America the Beautiful" in my head.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm sitting here going, "America."
It's a better
How the fuck
song.
is this in 3? No, you guys are all wrong, or I'm crazy.
The Star Spangled Banner's in 3.
We know the Star Spangled Banner's an old British. It's an old drinking song.
It's not a good song. It is not a well-crafted tune.
Yeah, it's an old drinking song, but that
adopted
with
melody.
Hymns. There's a lot of hymns in your hymnals that are actually old drinking songs because those are melodies that people knew. And
for real?
Yeah, they would do that.
Like, name us some hymnals that we would know that came from there.
Oh, I don't know if I can name them, but I just know they're there. But there's like a bunch of them. Like a lot of those old melodies are just old drinking songs or old folk songs. So there's a lot of hymns that are old folk songs. Like Amazing Grace was like an old folk song. The melody anyway, but that had been around for a long time, but it was just songs that people knew. And the Star Spangled Banner is the same way because it was Francis Scott Key is a poet.
I was going to say, so he was sampling back in 17 whatever.
Well, he didn't have anything to do with the music. It just got put to it, but because it's not even the original national anthem. The original national anthem was a song called Chester.
What?
Yeah.
What?
It's not which is kind of a better song.
God,
wait a minute, it wouldn't be hard.
Why do you know this stuff?
You know why he knows all this, because he stays up all night while we sleep gathering more information.
Like, wait a minute, Chester.
I mean, I've known that since middle school. I thought everybody knew that.
I had no idea.
To be fair, you're the only golden horseshoe amongst.
No, I am too. I got
You're
one.
Golden Horseshoe?
Yeah, of course I am.
I'm a fucking bad West Virginian.
Are you kidding me? Of course I won a golden horseshoe. Jimmy, you got it too?
Oh, sure.
What are you talking
Damn
about?
right.
So the Golden Horseshoe is a prestigious award awarded to 8th grade students, I believe, in West Virginia.
8th grade, after West
that
Virginia
is,
history.
you take West Virginia history in the 8th grade, and I think you just take a test and a
quiz.
You take a very in-depth quiz, and a few folks who I guess you have to ace it, right?
You go to Charleston, West Virginia. You have to pretty much ace it.
Yeah, boy.
Get a Golden Horseshoe. My father is a Golden Horseshoe. My grandfather's a Golden Horseshoe, and my father's brother is a Golden Horseshoe.
You're not a Golden Horseshoe.
Disappointment to my bloodline.
Did you take it though?
No, because I was a degenerate scumbag in the 8th grade. Not much has changed since.
What would be the equivalent in Kentucky? Would that be like the Golden Bourbon Barrel?
It would be more fitting for you guys to have the Golden Horseshoe, being the horse capital of the world.
The Golden Drumstick.
I'm saying we should have the Golden Trailer Park or the golden fucking coal mine.
The Golden Extra Crispy with a Mountain Dew.
The Golden L81.
Yes.
So back onto the clipboard.
Wait, hold on though. Wait. Before we get to the clipboard, we've got to just sum that up. We've fixed the national anthem situation because John, when I said national anthem, John went immediately, because John is an expert in good songs, went to America the Beautiful. It's the one thing that Vince McMahon gets right, because the Super Bowl plays the fucking national anthem, but the fucking WrestleMania, they do America the Beautiful because it is objectively a better fucking song. Give me Ray Charles singing that.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
one year WrestleMania used Big Time as the theme song.
I mean, dude,
by Peter Gabriel, which is great.
Very American.
There you go. Song. I mean, yeah, Tony Levin, he's from like Georgia, right?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. He's probably from New York. Now I got to look it up.
Is in Dugu Chancellor, probably from
Papa Bear, Tony Levin. But they call him Papa Bear.
So, John, what do you got for us, brother?
Well, so we're transitioning now. We're getting into the later, more modern period of the. It's funny. It coincides so much. Coincided with the turn of the millennium. Not only 9/11 in 2001, but the technological revolution that was going on there. Computers had really started to pick up. They'd started their climb up the exponential curve. Just communication technology in general had really advanced very quickly, and so we start.
Jeeves.
Yes, Jeeves.
Web crawler.
I remember
Net Zero.
I remember buying Net Zero. I remember buying the box of software off the shelf in the computer store in the Charleston Town Center Mall.
I
remember the day my uncle got America Online. We just felt like the world had just fallen to our doorstep.
I used to bring home those free floppy disks they would have at the store for those.
Oh yeah.
And Mom would be like, "Why are you bringing those home? We're not getting America Online." Can we?
This is a Netscape house.
You've got mail. You've got mail.
Wow, that is a stunning impersonation of that.
It really was.
Dude, did you know that Robert Fripp is the guy that played a lot of those sounds, like a lot of the notifications?
Oh, no way.
Fripp was the guy who played all that. Yeah.
Not to go off on another side tangent yet again,
Please.
but have you seen the Robert Fripp thing where it's like him in a room full of guitarists all playing like Robert Fripp guitar?
Oh, I thought you were talking about the one with his wife.
No, the one where it's like a room of like 40 guitar players all playing like Robert Fripp guitar at the same time.
Boy, that's a lot of arpeggios. That's a lot of arpeggios.
It's horrifying. And then you're hearing Robert Fripp talk about it. He's like, we are now going to play, song 1A.
21st century schizoid man.
Yeah. You just hearing like total like Wonder Bread, Duke's mayonnaise, Robert Fripp trying to explain these songs.
Yeah, it's Steve Reich on guitar.
I'll send the link to you later because it's amazing.
I thought you were talking about the one Adam was talking about.
This is so creepy. There's like 40 or 50
wife.
And they're all playing ovations.
Quite a presentation.
She's very talented, Adam.
And she's not afraid to reveal that.
No, she's not.
There's like 40, 50 people in a room all playing ovations with that real jangly.
Stop. Make it stop. No.
Robert Fripp playing ovations. And they're all playing ovations, playing like these songs all in unison, except for like the harmonized parts that are also in unison.
Fucking guitar choir.
Oh, it's awful.
I hate ovations, except for the basses. Like the
Magnums. The Magnums are awesome. They're so weird looking, but they're awesome.
But like,
so did they play What Would You Say afterwards after they got done with the Robert Fripp?
Dave Matthews never played an ovation.
What?
Dave Matthews was never an ovation.
What is that black flat thing?
That's a Gibson Chet Atkins.
That's exactly right. It's a Chet Atkins. Yes, he never played ovations. He played Chet Atkins's until like the mid 2000s, and then he basically just started bringing out full size acoustic.
I thought that black thing with the fucking little
the stars in the
vent and shit. No, the vent up there.
Chet Atkins.
Chet Atkins SSD.
Chet Atkins did better.
If we're going to gear nerd, because we gear nerd real freaking hard here on Drunk Uncle Radio, and we do it for you people out there. So don't forget that. Dave Matthews never played a goddamn ovation. Come on, Steve.
I was sitting here. I was listening to our bass episode, and I was like, "How did we not get John Entwistle's Fender Bird?"
That's so fucking bad. We did that bad. We're going to do that again. We'll do that again down the road. There's enough of those iconic
bass episode. Yeah.
Well, there's enough of those iconic instruments that we skipped a bunch. For sure, we'll do that again.
See space bass.
Okay, so wait a minute. Like
we skipped a bunch, and it was still 2 episodes.
No shit. So Jimmy just brought it up. Did look? The Who definitely had to play live. Like the Who's not going to fucking.
The Who played live.
I mean, dude,
the Who was 100%. That was. It's on here somewhere.
That was a good one.
It was.
Yeah.
They were actually pretty daggone good. Townsend's. Here we go. The Who. Townsend sounds like shit. That's what the.
I remember that distinctly. Like he sounded terrible.
He was playing a Stratocaster with lace sensors in it. What the fuck?
That's what he's been doing since like the 80s.
Yeah, he's been doing that for a while.
It's always that red Strat with the lace and with the white lace sensors with the gold lettering on it. Playing that badass Fender with the Thunderbird style pickups. I don't know if they're like those Lawler ones or the Michael Lowell ones, but it was those big
soapy ones.
Yeah, the big chrome Thunderbird pickups, but it was a Fender. Looked awesome.
And look, I'm going to get a lot of hate, but man, let's be honest. We love Entwistle and we love Keith Moon, but that rhythm section was probably tighter than the regular Who rhythm section.
Oh, it was definitely tight.
And Zach Starkey. And that's Ringo's fucking son.
That Who rhythm section I love Pino, and it's not saying anything bad, but it's like they could never have the character that John Entwistle and Keith Moon had together. That was because that's like a jet engine.
Chaos.
That's chaos.
Yeah, exactly.
It was an untamed monster.
Dude, it wasn't always tight. But.
Jimmy, where's your wife at? There's a French fucking term that means like beautifully ugly. And that's what I think of. It's a French term. It's a very common.
I'll text her. I don't know.
No, it's a very common nomenclature or whatever you would say for that. And it's beautifully ugly, and that's what I've always thought of the Who. You're right about that.
Is that the term?
Joliet. Yes, I just got that here, but I didn't know how to pronounce it. And so I was waiting on input from Chelsea, who actually speaks French.
Beautifully ugly, and that's what Keith Moon and John Entwistle was, man, because it was not tight.
So we're moving back on to Super Bowls and halftime performances. Paul McCartney was not live, and actually, when I look back on it, it kind of sucked. And
was his wife still alive then?
Oh hell, I don't know. Does it matter? The performance?
No. Well, she was. Well, my point is, she was never live anyway.
His performance was the first year after the wardrobe malfunction incident.
Right. Oh, I shouldn't skip over that.
You really shouldn't.
No, that's the booby. That's the thing.
I remember I remember the exact.
I mean, it is a booby. The quality is not indicative.
I mean, it's just that's a first generation boobay. For that to be on TV, on American TV, like if you're watching from Europe, you all have titties all the time on television, but over here, that was
breast in 2004 on cable television.
That was a big deal.
It had a pasty on it.
It did.
Fox News lost their fucking mind over that.
Almost a shield, a little nipple clamper piercing shield. Yeah.
So that was planned, right?
You got a full view of titty, though.
I didn't get big deal about it. It was weird.
Was that planned? It was planned, right?
So they tried to say it wasn't.
Yeah. But here's the thing.
It was like a stripper costume. It was like Velcro. Like
I went over this in detail. And doing it because I wanted to fucking
Sarah
answers.
Walks in
and she didn't. She was helping me analyze, man. She knows titties better than I do.
She knows titties.
And so I ran the fucking footage back like 5 or 8 times, trying to get looking not just at like physically what happened, but trying to look at people's faces and body
John's over there like the Zapruder film.
Yeah, exactly. And get intent. I will say this. So in the last notes of the song, his hand goes across her like belly and a lower sternum right here as he's going for the pose. And then you full on, like, it's not he draws his hand across and it caught. He gets a whole handful of whatever that piece of fabric is and just gives it the tug. But right after that happens, they both look fucking rattled. Like you can see that. We are all stage performers. You know the feeling that happens when something goes horrendously wrong at the absolute worst time and you're completely exposed.
So is he overzealous?
I don't know, but they both had the body language
to turn or something.
Yeah. Who knows? The thing that keeps it it was on purpose for me. Man, he got a whole handful of whatever that garment was. Like his fingers were in behind it.
Dude, I remember watching that live so distinctly and knowing that was totally planned. If you watch it, you're like, that's totally planned. And the look that like Janet gives, like, oh, it's that. To me, it looks like fake surprise. She's supposed to look surprised.
And maybe that's what it is.
How did this happen? What has occurred at this time?
I can't even believe this happened.
Can't believe
like the milkman in a porn is like, what's happening right now?
Yeah, it's like otherwise.
oh God!
Like Adam was saying, is like, why would they even design an outfit to work like that?
That's the thing. Why would it have a breakaway titty cover?
And then it was they did the Super Bowl. They did the NFL thing where they're like, oh well, they get a huge amount of negative backlash and like, oh well, it was a malfunction, and they have all these PR people come up with this stupid bullshit excuse, and it's like, just say, all right, you know what, we let a titty come out. Maybe we shouldn't have.
Did they say she had dehydration?
Oh, they
like for sure. They's like, oh, she was suffering from dehydration. We're not sure about this.
She was overheated.
Overheat for sure.
She was in heat. Sure. Wait, whoa, no, we didn't say that.
Yeah, it's like loosen up, NFL. Come on, let it out one more belt loop and just relax a little bit.
But hey,
look, it's still not as bad as watching Joe Theismann's fucking leg break. That's way worse than
Lawrence Taylor waving that crew on.
Well, and every single Super Bowl halftime show before that and since has just had legions of young, beautiful women, scantily clad, just like full on doing stripper moves on stage. Like we've all been to a strip club. We know what the catalog of moves is. Those were stripper moves. They're at every Super Bowl.
So we're now talking about Beyonce and Shakira now.
and J-Lo but no, even
and Doc Severinsen in that rainbow just
guys out there just shaking it in their zoot suits.
He's got that rainbow coat on, just blowing that horn. Big ass Ed McMahon just laughing away.
I tell you what, man, that Shakira Beyonce one, I don't know about the songs. Like, you could just turn that shit off. You could just turn the volume down and watch
time to talk.
Shakira J-Lo.
Let's be wait.
Yep, Shakira. The most recent one last year was Shakira and J-Lo.
So was it Shakira?
Beyonce was
that Missy Elliott when Missy Elliott came?
No, that's Katy Perry.
Oh, Katy Perry.
That's Katy Perry. That's right.
Do you remember like with the Shakira when she became a meme for a while because of something weird she did with her tongue?
Oh yeah. Well, remember when Beyonce became a meme because they
for the face.
They took that picture of her like
she looks like a horse.
That one.
Or something like that.
It was that one.
I'm gonna put that up here.
Okay, so
you should.
So the best part about Beyonce was Kelly Rowland came out, and like I hear you, Beyonce, but Kelly Rowland, that's the deep album cut. Like if you're gonna go Destiny's Child, Kelly Rowland. That's
the stuff that Beyonce sang with Destiny's Child was all real. It was all like at least their 3-part harmony,
dude,
or whatever they were doing out there.
Beyonce can sing her ass off.
Beyonce's whole show was live vocal.
Dude, she can sing her ass off, man. She is a diva that is worthy of being a diva.
It's like going to a Taylor Swift show and then like Sean Colvin comes out.
Right.
What is it?
I think they told
who comes home? Who was it?
Sonny came home.
Sonny came home.
That's all Nashville guys on there.
That album is so delicate.
I worked.
It's like Michael Rhodes.
Delicate.
It is. That record's delicate as fuck. It's really good too.
Live cuts. It's like Michael Rhodes and all those guys.
Yeah, that's people in a room making really good music together. That shit is incredible. So yeah, we're getting out of the mid 2000s here. Paul, not live, awful, over it. Abraham Laboriel Jr. just amazing.
Dude, give it up, man. Let's do it.
Not live.
Abe Laboriel Jr. is my fucking hero. I love him.
Abe Laboriel's awesome.
I cannot express my love of him so much. My favorite thing about him is, I don't know if he still has it, but when he first started playing with Paul, the front of the bass drum cover, his front bass drum was a big comfy chair. And like, that's what it was. And like, I talked about it on the
Laboriel Senior always has those big comfy shirts.
Well, what I remember seeing most recently on his kicks was DW. It was in like duct tape.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome.
Like yeah, man. I can't
or gaff or something. Yeah,
man. Because I want to do that. I want to talk about like our favorite players of whatever. And man, it may be Abe Laboriel Jr. so far. Although I don't know who played with Prince though. We haven't talked about Prince yet. Is it Michael Bland or is it the guy that died?
I don't remember if it was.
No,
not Sheila.
Is it Blackwell? Who played with Prince? Shit.
I don't remember if it was Bland or Blackwell or who it was.
Man, I love Bland. I love Michael Bland.
I love Michael Bland.
You've played with him, haven't you?
No. I haven't played with Michael Bland, but
because he's down there, isn't he?
He does Nashville stuff.
It's Cora Coleman.
Oh, okay.
No
it's
shit.
Cora Coleman. Yeah,
really?
Yeah, that's right.
Would that have been after that? Was that after Blackwell? That
was after, I think, because Bland was.
Oh, it's a bummer.
I do know one person, I believe, that played with Prince in that halftime performance, and he's an East Nashvilleian like me, and Jimmy used to be, and John is. Roy Agee, the trombone
player.
Yeah. Now, I spent a lot of Sundays at Three Crow Bar with him, and if for some reason you find us, Roy, hope you're well.
So that didn't Prince's band kind of do a JB thing where they like broke off and did like records without Prince?
The new
New Power Generation.
New Power Generation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Prince let him use that name?
Well, he owned it.
Okay, so he probably
he licensed
record.
them that name.
Oh, yeah,
it's like
for sure.
It's like the Morris Day and the Time thing.
He's like, here, go play for me.
and man, like, let's talk about the Prince one because I remember that. Maybe I'm romanticizing Prince, but I remember it being better. But I will say the fucking solo during Purple Rain is fucking phenomenal. But man, it's a little dirty before that.
Man,
like it's a little.
You can hear the logistics getting in the way there, the rain and all the weirdness that's going on. And sorry, go ahead, Adam.
No, I was just going to say, here's another thing. Most of us who are listening to this right now, and all of us here, anytime we watch a Super Bowl, we're usually kind of buzzed and everything's awesome.
Yeah,
full of really good like buffalo chicken
food.
Dip.
We got buds. We're getting buzzed, and we're just like, yeah. So like, somebody comes on TV and they're like,
play guitar in the rain.
Oh, yeah, you could just literally have some dude up there like fucking rock and roll. You'd be like, yeah. So like, not surprised that like years later, you're like, oh god, you know?
That's the one. That's the one I watched again. I was like, man, this was a lot better when I fucking heard it the first time.
His guitar sounded terrible, man. It was way too hot, and you could hear him, or maybe not way too hot, but you can hear the obstacles are part of the course, and you can hear him getting in the way on that performance, I think.
But man, the solo on Purple Rain was him playing it the fuck out.
It was. I think people remember it for the moment more than for what it actually was.
Dancing like on that slick ass stage and platform shoes.
No, because I remember watching that live, and it was a visceral experience. Like, holy shit, this is like Prince generating lightning bolts in the rain in a stadium.
Had that real dirty looking thing. Oh yeah, they were slipping all over the place. Had that real dirty looking shadow.
Yeah,
from the guitar.
Oh yeah, with the big horn on the bottom of it.
And he started out with his iconic Telecaster.
Yes, he did.
And he went to like a powder blue Strat.
The blue Strat with what looked like a humbucking lace sensor and a regular one, just a 2-pickup blue Strat. Yeah.
Now I'm just talking about one performance because Prince is the fucking man. But that I thought it was better. But here's one that we thought was great at the time, and we still know is still great. And it was I thought that when Tom Petty did it, it was like Tom Petty did the Super Bowl to remind us, hey, motherfuckers,
I'm here.
I'm Tom Petty, in case you all forgot.
You know,
because that's the fucking that's probably my favorite performance.
The only note that I have written down on the clipboard for that one, Tom sounds so good.
He looks so fucking classy.
And dude, his voice on that concert, he is in his perfect zone. He sounds like the record, and it's all real, it's all live. There's not a note that's recorded on that.
You can tell they're all having fun.
Oh god, they just so like I can't remember his name, the guy who's over on the left always playing rhythm guitar and like multi. But you can just see he's just belly laughing at there's just this grin a mile wide on his face. Mike Campbell's back there doing, aimlessly wandering around, but he just looks like he's doing it with a little more panache and that's such a great show.
You're talking about Ben Mon, are you?
No, the other the guitar player who always stands in the curly bass player.
Yeah, the curly haired guy.
I don't know both their names. I'm a bad rock.
He's the one that usually sings the Roy part when they sing, and they covered
Handle
Me With Care. Yeah.
Okay, so his set list was American Girl, the perfect pop song. I Won't Back Down, the perfect pop song. Free Fallin', the perfect pop song. Running Down a Dream, the perfect pop song. And Adam, you're about to go off on this next one because we're going to give this all to you.
I slipped on PP at the Quickie Mart. At the Megalo Mart.
Megalo Mart.
Not Quickie Mart. I slipped on PP at the Megalo Mart.
No hospitals.
Never have to work a day in my life.
They gave me a check for $12,000.
I think it was like 30.
Oh yeah, I think it was 30,000.
What is it? Sometimes the world. What is it? Sometimes the world is mean to shiny things. So man.
Yeah. 2009 brought one of the most memorable performances kinda ever anywhere, and it is the
Adam.
boss.
Go ahead,
Jones.
Dude. Tell him. 10th Avenue Freeze Out. I'm cool with that song. I don't like Bruce, but that's a good one.
Look, I'm like actually around that era was not when I first discovered Bruce. So I just remember watching that show and being like, yeah, he's giving it, and like,
he is a crazy good performer. I'll give you that. That dude
he slid into the cameraman.
Yeah, he does that big slide into the cameraman.
It was amazing.
Yeah, it reminded you, it was like, this is fucking live.
No, that one feels like such rock and roll.
Yeah,
it is.
But I didn't really start like even because I would always hear like the Bruce stuff on the radio, like Glory Days, and I thought it was like, oh, it's hokey. But then later on, like it was around when he did that Working on a Dream record, and that title track really pulled me in. So I started getting back into that older stuff and whatever.
And that was one of the ones in his.
That was one of the he played that.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't running down one. He was working on one. Man, my favorite is how much like when politicians play Born to Run as if it's like this great
triumphant thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like this shows you how much America is. We got to get out of here.
Honey, I'm leaving. Bye.
Yeah, fuck you. I want to get the fuck out of here.
I'm Born to Run. Good. I'll see you later.
I'm one of those. I'm not like a huge Springsteen head, but like my favorite Springsteen is like Darkness on the Edge of Town and Nebraska, like the early stuff. Those early records are like he was still like super raw and edgy.
You were into Springsteen when it was just barely cool.
Well, I mean, I wasn't even born.
No shit.
But I've always felt like Springsteen is one of those guys that maybe, and this sounds kind of bad, but maybe he gets kind of like the Sinatra treatment, where it's because he's a Jersey guy, the Jersey people and all that hold him up to such, like they put him on such a plinth that it's hard to say anything at all negative. I love Bruce, I can't really be like negative, but it's like he gets put on such a pedestal. Like I'm always like Sinatra, like is all right. It's not as good as Bing. And then Springsteen.
I was waiting for you to drop Bing.
Springsteen is like that to me. It's like it's great, and I get it, and I totally understand. But it's just kind of like I think he gets a jerseyed up a bit.
Yeah. Are they live though?
E Street.
Well, are they live?
No. Only thing that's live on that are Clarence's sax, Bruce's vocal, because he's such a
he never sings it the same way.
Yeah, and Bruce's his Telecaster's live on that.
Okay,
but I think Max I noticed.
Weinberg?
Nope, Max isn't live. I saw him playing a ride cymbal when there was a hat going. Yeah,
there are not many live drum sets on the Super Bowl.
That's
the Who and Tom
cymbals.
The Who was.
Tom was.
You'd watch these videos, guys are like hitting cymbals and you don't hear a thing.
Yeah. Oh, it runs
even Abe Laboriel was tracked.
Here's something that I love about Adam's recordings and his videos that he does. Adam, you're so meticulous about, and this shit runs me crazy as a drummer.
Oh man, as a director, like the stuff. Okay.
Dude, you always make sure that if the fucking drummer is playing a China cymbal at that time, you see a China cymbal. Dude, like that's fucking. You would not believe how many.
We coordinate about this. We text endlessly when he's doing the video and I'm doing the audio stuff. We're like, is this going to work here? Do I need to stretch this here? How does this? And it is incredibly important.
But like not even just our stuff, but like the stuff I saw you with Ray Luzier and the stuff I saw you do with Evanescence, and man, to film produce Will Hunt, that's not easy because that motherfucker's all over the place. That he does not make it easy, and you always make sure that whatever's being hit is being hit. And a lot of people who direct drums and music videos don't give a fuck. It runs me crazy.
Well, and like to me, as a geek, like anytime I hear a China cymbal, it's like that's the coolest sounding cymbal in the kit. So you should show that because it sounds badass. And that's really,
but yeah, like, dude, go watch the Woodstock movie. Like the Woodstock movie. Well, man, it looked like the Woodstock movie looks like the guy who, edited it was probably at Woodstock. Yeah. And like the one that runs me crazy is there's the Santana when Michael Shrieve is playing the drum solo, and it's way off. Like you're hearing one thing and you're singing another. It runs me crazy.
We're gonna have to do an episode on that first Woodstock sometime because one of that shows sucked.
Absolutely, but
it was terrible.
Oh God.
It wasn't. The band sounded good.
You just had to be real strong, man. Lots of drugs.
Some of them sounded real bad.
The Rounder founders went to Woodstock, so they told me all their stories. Like that sounds terrible. Yeah.
So we're coming across one that we're going to trash for a few minutes, a few seconds, and then not spend any more time on. The Black Eyed Peas. They were absolutely fucking terrible. I don't have anything against them because I'm good for them. They're making money, but that fucking performance was just
they're like dancing
absolute garbage. I didn't
Garbage.
It was so bad, and I remember watching it in 2011. It was so bad, I skipped it in research for this. I didn't even watch it again because I didn't want to burn.
You already knew.
Eyes.
You remember?
I see how bad that is. It was so terrible.
I remember
it was
sitting there with
total affront to the concept of the Super Bowl halftime show.
Slash came out too.
Great.
But I remember,
and that lends a lot of credibility.
I remember sitting there watching this, and I think you and I watched this together, Jimmy.
We did.
But I remember like the performance started. I had a chip and I dipped it in guac and I had it right here. And I think I sat there the whole time like this through that performance. And by the end, I was like, fuck was that?
What the fuck?
Oh my God, I've been holding this thing the whole time. Like it was.
That band was fucking props.
So bad.
Fergie just like kind of prancing around being weird.
Oh, she's terrible.
No, it's like I'm so 3008. You're so 2000 late.
Yeah.
That was one of the lyrics they sang that night.
Terrible.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Man, yeah, let's skip that bullshit.
That's enough. Moving on. Madonna and CeeLo. It was okay.
CeeLo Green's kind of cool.
No, he's great. He was very, very small part of a very small part. Unfortunately, she sang her hits, and it was to a track, and there were lots.
Did she sing "Sexy and I Know It"?
I don't think so.
Yes, dude. I'm looking at. She did Vogue, and she did music, and then LMFAO came out.
Yeah,
and did the Party Rock Anthem, and the LMFAO did the Sexy. And
that was one of those shows where it's like answering a request that nobody made.
We're pretty sure there's a high demand for Madonna this year.
Nope.
Yeah, like who's like sending emails like, please do Madonna next year. Please have Madonna on with CeeLo Green
in 2012.
Yeah, like, is this 1988?
Fuck that. That's lame. Go on to the next one.
Yeah, Beyonce. We've already kind of covered it a little bit, but the meme, obviously. Again, she was live vocal the whole time. She had a chick guitar player come out with a guitar that had fucking fireworks on it. I mean, that's cool.
Was it the Michael Jackson chick?
Orianti?
I don't know. She had big old poofy hair, and she's playing a flying like a Charvel or a Jackson.
That's got to be her, right?
She always plays PRSs.
Okay.
There's always like those white PRSs and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that started out with a Vince Lombardi speech. That started out with an excellent speech voiceover. That's fucking sweet. But yeah, Kelly Rowland showed up. That's all that matters.
Glasses.
Yeah, exactly.
Just
I
angry.
think the more that we could have like the NFL films guy voice on stuff was like,
Jimmy, do it.
The glory of the game.
that's it. Bradshaw
You don't
drops
score.
back. Oh my God.
He took one step back, two steps, three steps, releases. Lynn Swan with the kid.
That takes me back to
Most
like,
overrated NFL Hall of Famer ever. Lynn
I'm like
Swan.
sitting
Dude,
in the
give it to him.
recliner.
Tell him.
What?
Lynn Swan got into the Hall of Fame for one catch.
I mean, dude, have you ever seen Terry Bradshaw's numbers? His numbers are worse than Troy Aikman's. That motherfucker threw for like 190 yards a game.
The Steelers were like, they won Super Bowls on that defense, the steel curtain, right?
Yeah.
They didn't score a lot of points.
They didn't have to.
They scored enough points, which is all you got to score.
Right.
But it's not Terry Bradshaw and Lynn Swan.
No.
You know?
Offense wins games. Defense wins championships.
There it is.
That's right.
Okay. Oh, dude. Okay, so the next one,
Bruno.
Bruno with special guest.
Who do we? Oh, yeah.
RHCP.
So hold on. I want to start out with the drums that Bruno is playing.
Those are
He's
real.
Man,
it's real.
Okay,
it's real. It's live. It's in the moment. It's mic'd. It's there's little clams. You can watch the cymbals move and hear the shimmers go accordingly. He's badass, dude.
I want to get this out. I'm a huge Bruno Mars mark.
Absolutely,
that motherfucker is the real deal. And the thing is, like, his brother is his actual drummer. Eric Hernandez, Panda is his name. I did a video on this channel.
Bruno's been writing big hits for years too, like huge pop hits. He's been on co-writes for years and years and years on huge pop hits.
He's been around a while. He's the real thing. He's the real thing.
Singing, dancing, playing, legit entertainer. Yep. 100%.
Of the last bunches that we're kind of doing, the last 5 or 6, he is definitely the real thing, because there's a good man, let's be honest. The next one is Katy Perry. Is Katy Perry going to have a chance at being at the Super Bowl in 20 years? Bruno Mars has a chance of
in some
being
capacity. Well, he's so multifaceted. He's so
because he's just really good, man. Yeah.
And he's got one of the hottest bands going. Like with
his
guys.
Crazy.
His drummer, man, his brother Panda is a badass.
That bass player,
Jamario Ortiz.
Yeah,
I don't know that one, but he comes out and like does dance steps and shit with them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, no, they're all dancing. It's like it's an old school. It's a it's a thing like
it's like a Verdine White
it's a show. And it's something I think a lot of musicians sometimes forget is they want to like lay their soul wounds bare to the world. No, I stand here and be sad. It's like, okay, there's a place for that. Yeah, sure, but it's still a fucking show.
Don't you talk about Elliott Smith like that.
No. Okay.
And their special guest on the Bruno Mars Super Bowl, the hilariously not even fucking plugged in Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh no, was Flea not plugged in?
Flea didn't have a cord in his bass. I mean, come on. When we shoot videos for the Drunk Uncle podcast and for Drunk Uncle YouTube, I plug my guitar in and tuck the cord up my ass or stick it in my pocket or something. You got to make it. You got to sell it.
You got to get back kayfabe, Jim. You got to keep kayfabe.
Flea don't care about kayfabe. Adam, you remember that telethon? And they're playing like Fight Like a Brave. They're like Hiram Slovak and Jeremy
Irons. Running around.
Right? He's playing like a broom.
His parts on a fucking.
I think Jeremy Irons is like hitting a trash can. Anthony Kiedis is like, he's like Anthony Kiedis is up on like a light truss, just kind of like shaking back and forth, no microphone, just yelling.
And all you hear is like, do you
ever hear anything else out of Anthony Kiedis?
It's Fight Like a Brave, so you just hear like, and they're just like standing there, and Flea's just, hitting shit. They don't care. And they're that thing like, they're like, okay, well, if I don't get to play live, I'm going to show you I ain't playing shit.
I ain't playing shit.
There was one where they were, was it a Japanese thing they were playing, and Flea gets up to the microphone and just goes, arigato.
That's going to be a future podcast of ours. We're going to do a Red Hot Chili Peppers
I'm into that for sure.
Uplift mofo party plan.
So I got the fellowship.
Fellowship.
So Katy Perry in 15 is a big dramatic show full of stuff and
sharks,
big props and sharks, left shark. That's the thing. That's the only note I have for Katy Perry's, other than the obvious undertones, which we'll try to keep.
Is that what the kids call it? Is props? Is that what they call them?
Props.
Okay, so
tracts of land. Smart.
I definitely remember watching this with the lady, and like just being like, yeah, whatever the fuck, and then when Miss E showed up, I fucking stood up in my house and was like, thank you, Missy Elliott, for coming out here, because she's the fucking queen.
Well, it was like nobody really heard anything about her for a few years. Like, you hadn't heard much about Missy Elliott. And then she comes out and you see her like, holy shit, that's fucking Missy Elliott.
And she's still the queen, man. Missy Elliott's the fucking
killed, man.
She was great. Katy Perry, sugary Pop-Tart, that's good to look at.
Singing about California girls. It's like, okay, great, whatever.
Did you know that I'm from California?
It's definitely not.
California.
And unfortunately for them, or maybe not, we're skipping talking about 2016 as well, because that was just Coldplay, and it was a bunch of flowers and like Unity. It was nice. I don't know. It was. They closed with
Beyonce came out, Mark Ronson and Bruno Mars came out, did Uptown Funk, which is a good song.
It is. But then they closed with the big tear stream down your face. What's up? Fix You.
I will fix you.
And that's, in my opinion, that's Coldplay's greatest contribution to musical society.
That's a good song.
That's a great song.
It's a good song.
I remember when it came out, I was in a place in my life personally where I was going through some shit. And it was one of those ones where he's reaching out through the speakers and then showing you the lights. So that was nice.
Song. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Playing it in the Escape, and you're like,
we're going to fix you. Yeah. He is going to fix you. The very pale English man with a grand piano is going to fix all my problems.
I got tapes on my fingers.
With a kid named Apple.
So that's what we'll give Coldplay. It wasn't bad. There was nothing wrong with it. They did fine. I'm sure it was all pre-recorded. I didn't watch it. What can I say?
Okay, so John, I'm going to go ahead. John, this segment is all you. Go ahead.
Come on. It's the number. I'm gonna run us all down a top 3 when we're done, just because that's fun. With no real rankings of any official nature, but this is my number 1. And it's from a very unsuspecting genre and style of music for me. It's 2017 or 2017. It was Gaga, and she just absolutely dominated the screen, the stage, the crowd, the band, everything. You could not look away from her in this performance, and it's 100% real. Live mic in real time. Oh, it's all tracks because it's all electronic. It's club music. Right. I think she had some musicians out there occasionally, but it's all big staging and dancers and shit.
Jumped in from the roof.
Jumped down from the roof with the drone flag display behind her, and jumped off from the roof, comes down on cables, and just starts just wailing from atop this giant steel pedestal cage, and it just didn't stop for 11 and 12 minutes. She got that guy
with the Jetson circle keyboard. That's a keyboard all the way around.
Jetson.
Or the keyboard from the cantina in Star Wars.
He's like, stop this crazy thing.
I'll say this, and I am not surprised, because me and John, we share a love of female Pop Tarts. Me and you have definitely talked about how much we love Kelly Clarkson.
Oh, she's a singer. She's a singer, man. She's a real deal.
She's super badass.
Dude, she's amazing. So I'm not surprised by this at all.
Well, and see, Pop-Tarts aren't my thing. It's the ones that are real fucking singers, man. Kelly Clarkson, Sarah Bareilles, Lady Gaga, people like that have writers, players,
Gabby Lala.
Gabby Lala. Who the fuck is Gabby Lala? That sounds great.
It's like Yoko Ono on more acid.
That's the next episode.
Oh, God. And you're telling me that's the ass that broke up the Beatles? God,
geez. So she comes up, and here's the thing. And dude, what did we talk about earlier? Lady Gaga comes out and she sings fucking God Bless America. Mm-hmm. Because it is a superior song that would uplift your country. And she does This Land Is Your Land.
She does.
I don't remember that.
It was like the most patriotic halftime show in a couple decades.
That's crazy for her to start out as irreverent as she did. And so outsider, as you would think that she was at the beginning to do.
Well, we don't get too much into this on the show, but it was a pretty hot time in American politics. And
it was. It's 2017.
The new president had just been inducted, and so she was exercising her First Amendment rights via a very massive cable network.
Through singing Just Dance.
That's what she always does. To me, she's sort of like an actual physical manifestation of First Amendment rights. Like you look at her and you're like, oh, First Amendment. She does whatever the fuck she wants.
Meat dress, First Amendment. Absolutely.
First Amendment. So it's like, you could do that in other places, of course, but it's just sort of celebrating that sort of American ideal of you can do, as long as you're not hurting anybody, you can do things, that you really can't, that you can't do. And she's celebrating that.
Yeah.
And of course the political connotations of the time.
You watched the documentary of her on Netflix. Like she did that
5'2" or whatever.
Yeah, she did that whole Super Bowl performance through horrible hip pain. And she's dancing her ass off during that show.
Just wearing those heels iconic. Like that all the time, dancing on heels. You get
She's like got fibromyalgia, which is normally like an old people thing.
Well, and remember, for the first half of that show, for the first 8 minutes of that show, she had a fly harness on.
Yeah.
And she keeps going like inverted or flat a little bit.
And so, I mean, even once she's off the wires, she still has the harness on. She's got a big thing all through your groin and up around your shoulders or your lower back.
Anybody that's ever gone like rappelling or climbing or something knows how uncomfortable those guys.
Oh my God.
It's probably like what Mick Mars has to wear to stand up straight.
Yeah.
Oh no! Shots fired.
Oh man,
that was amazing.
Oh God, that's so wrong.
I got him like one of those. You remember like back in Victorian times where they'd pose dead people with their families and stuff.
That's been the last 2 Motley Crue tours.
They just got like one of those poles stuck. They got one of those poles stuck up his back, and they've like painted his eyes on or something.
Fucking wheel him out there. What's so wrong?
Well, you know, okay. What one small thing I might have to cut this. I don't know.
No. We don't cut. You've cut enough, motherfucker.
For that Motley Crue tour that was about to take place in 2020. Mick can't fucking walk. Like Mick is fucked. And but he has like this harness shit that he has to wear to go out and perform, and he lives here in Nashville, in Franklin, actually.
What?
And they were like, or somebody was like, "Hey, why are you doing this? Do you want to do this?" Like, no, but they threatened to sue me if I didn't.
Oh man, I thought that they had signed a contract saying that Motley Crue would never tour again.
They did, and that was all because of Mick. And like Mick's like, I can't fucking do this anymore. I'm broken.
God damn.
And then Vince is like, yeah, but I'm broke.
Yeah, I'm pretty drunk and shout the devil. Just
So the next one is 2018, and it's the last one. No, not there. We're not going to talk about that one.
We're skipping JT.
No, the next one is JT.
Oh, that's why I'm booing. I'm booing Justin Timberlake.
Kidding me?
Fuck off. Are you kidding me? Seriously, you're going to come on here and put Justin Timberlake over with a fucking him like dancing on the grave of Prince? Give me a fucking break. That is bullshit.
I don't know if I'd call that dancing on the grave. I'd say he did a pretty good job of paying tribute. I mean, good Lord. Hey, no, when Prince came up on the big fucking clothy screen in video from the past,
they should have done that from the beginning.
Timberlake took the under part. He sang underneath him. So,
that's
and dude, Justin Timberlake, we're on here talking about consummate entertainers, Bruno Mars and people like that who could sing, dance, act, and do the whole 9 yards. He's not the best actor. I'll give him that. He's not my favorite actor.
He was great in Trolls.
Hey, my kids like that.
Yeah. And he was the music director.
And dude, I'm not a Justin Timberlake hater. I just thought this performance, because I definitely remember this, was bullshit. Like, I thought it was
we remembered that Prince was good.
Well, because Prince has a better body of work, and he gets a little
not at the Super Bowl.
I don't get it.
Timberlake's got 3 Super Bowls. Prince only had 1, and it wasn't very good.
and Timberlake was singing live at all of his, including the 2018 one.
I will say, I think the 2018 one was his best one.
Oh, by far.
By a long shot. The NSYNC one was terrible.
The 2018 was around the same time I got to see Timberlake at Pilgrimage.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, down in Franklin.
That was a fucking great show.
He's like,
I'm not saying that he's not great. I'm saying this performance sucks.
You're just pissed. You're just pissed because you think that he disgraced Prince somehow.
Yes.
I mean, it was in Minneapolis.
He should shut the fuck up. He should have came out and be like, dude, I'm not worthy, and we're just going to play Prince.
But I'm sure they
like. Were you a big fan of Suit and Tie? Was that a killer? Was a killer song for you?
I mean, it's not terrible. It's not one. It's not one that I would. It's not one that I would say is his top of his discography now.
There was probably a conversation where like the NFL was like, "Hey, it's going to be in Minneapolis. We should probably do a Prince song." It was like, let's do a Prince tribute because those host cities probably maybe get some of a say sometimes, right?
I mean, if he had any balls, he'd have played the fucking complete set list of Man of the Woods. That would have been like if he really wanted to be an artist, he'd be like, "Hey, y'all, remember I'm white and I'm from the South, so I'm going to make this shitty Genericana record. But no, I'm going to fucking sing Sexy Back. Fuck off.
Super Bowl won't
give me a fucking break.
Super Bowl won't even let you do that.
Well, the last they play Genericana.
No, they want the hits. That's all.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. So you're saying that Mumford and Sons is never going to play the Super Bowl?
Are they playing shows?
Nor should they. Fuck. I mean,
yeah, we got to do before we end this thing. We got to do a rundown of like top 3 bands that should have played the Super Bowl and have.
Maybe that's a better.
And top 3 bands that should never play.
We've all sort of said our favorites and what we really liked.
For sure.
So 19 and 2019 was Maroon 5, and that fucking California tattoo across his chest is all like, come on,
dude. He has excellent abs. His abs are probably better than Justin Timberlake.
Tattoos.
I love, as a gear nerd, I love the Photoshop versions you'd see where he had like an Epiphone guitar tattooed on it. Because he has like a Gibson on his arm or something like that. And they changed it to an Epiphone.
How awkward was it? How awkward was it when Travis Scott came out and he was like, what is the Maroon 5 guy's name? Like Mom Rock King. What's his fucking name? Adam Levine was like, Travis Scott, I'm just going to sit here very awkwardly. Now, when Big Boy came out, that was fucking awesome. It was in Atlanta. They shouldn't have fucking had Maroon 5. They should have just had fucking Outkast.
Yeah, that would be a million times
awesome.
better. Yeah.
That would be a billion times better.
Outkast with Alan Jackson.
Yes.
And Devin Allman, because it's Georgia.
They'd have done a great remix of Chattahoochee. Are you shitting me? It'd have been fucking awesome.
Actually,
Noon and Zone.
Just slight sidetrack, very like 30 seconds, but like if they, the next time there's like an Atlanta, Georgia based Super Bowl, you got to get fucking Blackberry Smoke.
I thought you were going to say Atlanta Rhythm Section.
Blackberry Smoke in a Super Bowl. Can you like that would be fun, right?
Well, man, we're insiders and we know who that is. There's no one watching this.
Might be a little inside baseball there.
Yeah, no one knows who that is.
Too.
It would be fucking hilarious for sure.
Yeah, but
they would have Kentucky Headhunters open up.
To me, it's like if there's one band that should have played the Super Bowl and never has, it's Kiss.
Of course, it's Kiss. That's who I was talking about earlier, Adam.
Yeah. Why has Kiss never played the Super Bowl? They were made to play the Super Bowl.
You think Gene Simmons is going to play a show? You think Gene Simmons is going to play a show without getting paid, son?
That's the thing, though. They've probably been asked numerous times.
Like
I would have
20 times. I'm sure.
Adam, tell him what you told me the other night, what you would think Gene Simmons would demand from the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah. As soon as Kiss would play the Super Bowl, that they would have to write into the deal that the Super Bowl iconic crest, like XVI, like that all has to be in the fucking Kiss font.
Yes, for sure. Yes,
and it's in like flames, just like fucking Super Bowl, like
Super Bowl.
They've got like Troy Aikman has to come out in like Gene Simmons makeup. They like wheel John Madden out dressed as Peter Criss.
It's like, you gotta get tough acting tonight.
I'm more like Batman than the Catman.
Oh, dude, that's the only reason.
Guys, be careful. We're killing Steve.
Oh, God. Fight it tonight.
Boom.
Boom. Yeah. So 2020 is last year. If you can believe,
I don't remember.
There was a Super Bowl last year. It was J-Lo and Shakira.
And I'm starting to remember again.
Big swirling cocktail of shaking booties and Shakira doing that thing that she does with her voice.
Shakira just sold her catalog too.
Oh, good for her.
Did she sell it more than you think Bob Dylan sold his for?
Oh God, Jesus, no.
You don't think so?
Fuck no. Are you serious?
Nah, man.
No,
dude, she's a
no. Bob Dylan is an American icon.
She's like especially like in Latin America and stuff. She's gigantic.
That's what I'm saying.
But,
like in Colombia and fucking Brazil, she is Bob Dylan. Is my point. Is the reason why I would just
it's still isn't worth an American Bob Dylan amount of money.
I tell you what, Bob Dylan never fucking danced like hips don't lie, son.
No,
that's all
I'd pay to see that, especially at his age.
I'd be amazing. I wouldn't. I'd pay not to see it.
You gotta.
Like, hey, you have to see this. No, I don't hear.
Okay, it smells so bad. You've got to smell this.
Okay, so John, I would assume, because I know a little about Shakira, because like our best friend Parker was a fan of hers back in the day when she was a traditional Latin artist. She can sing her fucking ass off.
She can
100%.
And she's in Zootopia.
And Jennifer Lopez can't sing anything.
You sounded like Homer Simpson.
Was that live, John? Do you think?
Hell no, not a single fucking note of that was live.
Nothing. Not even Shakira can sing.
Once again, dude, not when she's dancing like that, I guess. I mean, dude, I'm sure she can. I don't want to. Shakira, I'm sorry. And to Shakira fans who are listening here, tell me in the comments that I'm wrong. She can sing like the record and dance, whatever.
Dude, she's great.
No, not a single note of that on either of their parts was live. There was not a thing happening in the middle of that arena that wasn't pre-recorded.
I tell you what, that was movements. That was a lot more enjoyable to watch than watching fucking Paul McCartney lip sync. I tell you that.
Oh man,
well, and these guys, I mean, or these artists, they're some of them are so concerned with image and all that. Well, as long as with the NFL, like if they think that maybe their performance isn't going to be as good as it could be to be presented in front of 180 million people, they're just going to lip sync. And it doesn't really cost them anything.
Did you say
Jewel had it? So Jewel sang the national anthem. I can't remember which one it was, but she was really early. It was right after she broke. Early.
Was her hand small?
Had a wedge.
And she got out there for the rehearsals, and she got spooked, and she said, "I'm not going to do it live. I'm going to sing to the track." And she wouldn't put in-ears in. She only had a wedge on the floor. And they said, "Look, you're not gonna hear the track start, because when they say your name, this is your hometown. It was San Francisco, I think, or San Diego. I can't remember.
San Diego.
They said when they say your name, this crowd, it's the Super Bowl. The crowd is going to go wild. You won't hear anything, and you can watch the video. She misses the first note. The track starts, and she catches up, and the NFL and the broadcaster and her all caught a whole bunch of shit over it.
That proves to you how fucking great Whitney Houston is. She's the fucking queen. She heard that fucking mix and never performed it. She just listened to it.
She wasn't going to have that Ashley Simpson moment.
No,
no,
man. She's the best. And I tell you what, man, I don't know anything about The Weeknd, but I don't hate that new single.
No,
I don't hate it. You know what I mean? Like, it sounds like the 80s. You know what I mean? Sounds like fucking like Tears for Fears, sorta. Like, I don't hate that song.
I do.
So,
yeah, absolutely.
I don't know anything more than that, but they don't say anything else that he's playing. I know that Jay-Z's producing, but like, other than that, that's all we're going up.
He's just going, he's going to pop in at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's sort of that brings us current. We're going to see what happens here at the beginning of next
tomorrow.
Month with is that tomorrow?
That's tomorrow.
Jesus Christ! Wait,
we don't do this shit ahead, John.
Oh yeah.
That kayfabe shit,
sorry.
man.
This is live. I'm sorry. This is live television that you're doing here. Yeah. It's been a long day. I've been watching.
We're going to record a song before then too.
Yeah, for sure.
We have handshake coming.
But and so we're going to see what happens with The Weeknd tomorrow. And but other than that, that brings us to 90 to almost 30 years of Super Bowl halftime shows. A couple were good. When it comes down to a couple were pretty good.
A couple were passable
in the lens of history. In the moment, like we were talking about with the Prince show and so many of the other ones.
Man, that one hurt
awesome
me
to watch. No, it did. It did. That one hurt.
I thought that one was so much better.
And the Paul one got me really bad when I went back and realized it was all. I will say they went in and I think the Paul show, of all the ones that was a band done to a track, like a rock band with instrument features done to a track, theirs was the tightest. They really played to their track well. They obviously went in as that setup and recorded the track, specific, like really with their mind set on the performance aspect of it.
Because they're total pros.
Yeah, they are total pros.
Pros.
But man, that just because I remember that was 2005. I was like in the middle of music school and like the first time I'd ever really started listening to the Beatles, because I didn't listen to the Beatles when I was younger. And Paul was my favorite Beatle at the time. And so that was like the fireworks and the helicopter shots. And it was just big moment for me. And then
is everyone in here ready to say that Paul's their favorite Beatle? Is everyone ready to?
No. Not a bit.
Oh, we left you out on a limb there. Oh boy.
Frozen? He got so freaked out he froze.
So that is going to wrap up our episode on NFL halftime performances here at Drunk Uncle Radio. We seriously hope you had a great time with us here. Be sure to hop down in the comments section and tell us what we got wrong. Tell us what we got right. Tell us what kind of just dastardly idiots we are. However you want to. We know that you'll come through for us. So until we see you again, goodbye from myself, John, and my fellow drunkles, Adam, Jimmy, and Steve.
Yes.
His computer died.
Fairly well. It died.
Wrong kid died.